Okay, my name is Skip. I'm a member of the Wilson family, and the gentleman sitting beside me is one of my older brothers, Ted. I'm going to record a message that was delivered to me by my brother Jim. Jim gave this story to me at his home, as I said, in Zephyr Hills, Florida, and it's the story of the most exciting and depressing part of the sinking of the LST 314 in the English Channel in 1944. But he told me that in the middle of the night he had come off his watch on the ship and gone to his bunk in the bowels of the ship and was asleep when the first torpedo hit. The torpedo blast knocked him from his bunk into the floor and tore loose a series of lockers on the wall of the ship, which fell on him, and he was unable to move and make any effort to save himself. And there was on the ship a non-commissioned officer, and I believe is a boatswain's mate. I can't remember exactly, but he was a big man, and he was from the state of Tennessee. He came down in the bottom of the ship and was yelling for survivors, and Jim called to him, and being a big strong guy, he came and found him and raised the lockers so that Jim was able to free himself. He then carried him up the steps to the deck of the ship and laid him near number 3 gun mount, and then he left him to go back down into the bottom of the ship to look for another survivors. And after he saw this man walk down the steps, there was an explosion of the gun mount. And Jim doesn't remember what happened then because he was knocked unconscious. What bothered Jim about this was that he told me that this man that saved his life, he said that man could not have been rescued or his body saved because he's convinced that he went down with the ship.
That's my brother Jim, just after he went in the Navy, and my brother Dick, my brother Dick had polio ever since he was in the 2nd grade of school, and that's me in the middle. I think that was the first time my brother was home on leave after he went in the Navy.
Well, he both got sunk.
Well, that was during World War II, and we were listening. We used to listen to a program once a week, and it would tell stories about the different things that happened during war, and one of them was one story was the sinking of the LST 314 in the English Channel, and that's the ship that my brother was on. And one time I mentioned to him about that program, and he was going out to California to see his old captain who was in the hospital, and that's a few months later I got a copy of the tape that was a radio show that they showed on that they played on the radio that night.
This program is one of those especially selected to be broadcast by shortwave to the men and women of the armed services in all parts of the world. Wrigley's Spearmint Gum, now going 100% to the armed forces and the merchant marines at sea and overseas, presents The First Line. Thanksgiving Day in 1944, a day of prayer and a day of rejoicing, a day upon which this nation gives thanks for the devotion of its sons who have held it secure against its enemies and have gone on to strike mighty blows at the very heart of the enemy homeland. It is fitting that upon this day we should bring you the graphic true story to be told tonight on The First Line, a story which can only be called Invasion is Our Business. For this is the story of a tank landing ship which fought its way through the series of invasions culminating in the landings in Normandy, those invasions upon which the structure of victory in Europe is being built. This is the story of the ship, of her officers and crew, and their superlative courage and daring. Yes, for this ship and its crew, invasion is their business, and here tonight to bring you this gripping story is the captain of LST 314,
Commander Alvin Harold Tutt, United States Navy, holder of a personal citation from the Secretary of the Navy, the Purple Heart with 2 stars, and recommended for another citation for bravery in the Normandy invasion.
Listen then to this enthralling true story of this Navy ship in the first line as it gallantly carried out its job of invasion.
I'm Alvin Tutt, a commander in the United States Navy. I commanded LST 314 from its commission in November 1942 at Brooklyn Navy Yard until, well, we'll tell you about that later. The 314 was one of the first ships of its kind to be commissioned. It was a strange kind of Navy ship for those days. It looked like a 300-foot whale sticking out its tongue when the big bow doors were swung open and the landing ramp came down. My crew was pretty green. Even the word amphibious was strange to their ears. But it didn't take long for that crew to become a smoothly operating unit. 7 officers, 54 men, and the LST 314, a nameless ship, a numbered ship, but she was ours and we loved her. And we knew somehow that she was destined for glory. But to know the story of LST 314, we must go back to the days when the invasion was a new word to America, back to a harbor on the African coast.
At this rate, we'll be loaded in another hour, Captain.
Yes, we're really moving those supplies aboard.
The Germans could see this harbor is deserted now. It'd be a shock to them.
They did their best to put it out of use. The bottom's strewn with wrecks. We'll have to be careful not to foul any of them when we move out. We'll be low in the water.
Well, the Heinies have got the wind up. These continual air raids they've been staging here show how determined they are to prevent our moving across to Sicily and Italy.
We'll have to do better than they have to stop that. Knowles, look at this harbor. Look at the ships loading and unloading here. Hundreds of them.
Beg pardon, sir.
Yes?
We're fully loaded, sir, ready to get underway.
The other LSTs in the division?
Ready, sir.
Good. And we'll move out when we get...
Planes coming in, bearing 000. Elevation 25 degrees.
Down, General Quarters.
Yes, sir. General Quarters.
Battle station. 0.
This is going to be the worst yet, Captain. I haven't sent in this many planes before.
Talk up afterward to commence fire. Once control, fire your section. Commence fire.
There goes one plane down in flames.
Our boys got that one, but there are more coming in. There go 2 more down.
They aren't getting near our ship.
Look at those gun crews, Captain. Look at them. Good work, men. Hold them off. Hold them off.
When that Nazi raid on the dirty harbor was over, not a ship had been sunk. But Nazi planes had gone down like flies, like fireflies, to burn brightly for a moment and fade into oblivion. And the guns of LST 314 accounted for some of the attackers. Then came the order.
Get off. Let's get underway. Cargo will be needed over there. All engines ahead 1/3.
All engines ahead 1/3, sir.
It's going to be a tight squeeze getting past some of these hulks. Quartermaster?
Yes, sir.
Keep the port of that wreckage.
Aye, aye, sir.
When we pass that hulk, right full rudder and go out through that channel between them. Hey, we're losing way. What's the matter? Keep her nose to port.
I can't, sir. Something's wrong. Engine room calling you, sir.
Very well. Engine room, go ahead. What's wrong?
Something's wrong, sir. Something's happened to our starboard screw. No power.
Stop all engines. Helmsman, light your helm. Password open. Make PA system stand by bow anchor.
Captain. Yes, sir, but we follow the length of change, sir, with our starboard propeller. What's the
Stand by
damage?
bow anchor. Anchor to sail. Stand by bow anchor.
Bad, sir. All 4 blades are sheared off, I think. That propeller's useless, sir.
How long will it take to fix it?
The maintenance crew are looking at the damage now.
Oh,
Abbott, how about it?
that's bad. I can't see how we're going to replace that screw without going into dry dock. Dry dock? You mean we've got to lay over here while the other ships go on to the invasion? Looks like it, sir. We'll have to be fitted with a new propeller. We can't do it. Can't spare the time. We're counting on this cargo. We can't go to dry dock. We'll tell them how long it'll take. The only way we'll ever make it, sir. Look, Abbott, we've got a spare screw aboard, haven't we? Yes, but I can't. Anchor to tail, stand by to drop bow anchor. I'll tell you one thing. We're not going to sit like a fish out of water and miss the invasion. Let's go, bow anchor. But, Captain, how are we going to make it on one screw? We got a spare screw. I wasn't a master diver for nothing. I'm going to try sitting it underwater.
But, Captain, that propeller weighs 2,000 pounds. We aren't set up for a job like that. No cranes or rigs aboard.
We'll have to improvise cranes then, and diving rigs. Only have a shallow water diving helmet with a small 2-cylinder head pump. Be a cinch with a regular outfit. I'm going down anyway and take a look to be sure it can be done. Abbott, break out that screw while I get my diving gear rigged. Keep that pump going, Nick. You've got to have air down there. The skipper's got more nerve than I have trying a job like that. He's wobbling. Here he comes. He's coming up. Here, give the skipper a hand up. Hey, Nick, come on, help me, Nick. Get in there. Up with it. Come on there.
Help me get that helmet off him.
Yeah, I got it.
How about it, Captain?
I don't know. Looks like an impossible job. Got to try. Got to. Can't do it alone. Even to make the try, I'll need help. Has anyone in the crew had any experience with diving? Any divers aboard?
I guess not, sir.
I can't do it alone. Need at least 2 men. We can work in rotation.
Beg your pardon, sir. I've never done any diving, but I'm willing to try it.
Good, Jones. I can show you how to use the helmet. If Jones can do it, I can, sir. All right, Abbott. You and Jones and I will try to take off the damaged screw and put on the spare. Now, the rest of you get busy rigging tackle on the fantail. Kate, take charge while Jones and Abbott take a couple of dives to get used to it. All right, sir. Good luck to you. Maybe we'll get in on this invasion after all.
Then the struggle began. The struggle to remove the big nuts and pins that held the broken propeller in place. After hours of work underwater,
I don't think it can be done, sir. Not this way. Yeah, I know. I know it's tough. Let's keep trying. We must keep on. Yeah, let's try once more, Jones. If we keep at it, we can get these pins out. We can get the old prop off.
I'm about done in, sir.
Let's take a breather then. All right, try again. Abbott, help Jones. Someone give him some hot coffee. I'm going to try again.
more hours of perilous, desperate labor. And then,
It's ready, sir. It's loose now. All we've got to do is get that tackle rigged and pull it off. That's the stuff. All right. I'll go down and secure the tackle. When I signal, bend into it. I'd hate to be in the skipper's shoes. If that screw slips, he'll be smashed. Yeah. Easy now. That line taut. I can feel it moving. There's the signal. It's off. Now, up it comes. Heave, men. Heave! Heave! Heave!
It's getting dark, Captain. We won't be able to put that new screw on tonight. But you can't see the work down there. One slip might bring us on the propeller down on you.
No matter. We've got to keep going. String lights around the fantail so we can get some idea of what we're doing.
Very good, sir.
How about it, Jones? You and Abbott don't have to go on with this if you'd rather not.
I'm sticking until we get that new prop on.
It's dangerous. Maybe crushed. We'll take our chances with you, sir. All right, then. Get a few minutes rest while they're getting the new screw rigged. You men on deck, Pat, hat down, Black. Toughest part of the job still ahead. Getting it secured on the shaft.
hour after hour, those men worked down in the black darkness to the water under the fantail of their ship. Above them hung the crushing weight of the shot propeller on the makeshift rigging. And on deck, an anxious crew stood tense, praying, hoping for their comrades below. Then at midnight,
The screw's on the shaft, sir. It's on. Now, I guess it's good. My turn, Jones. I'll go down next.
at 4 o'clock in the morning,
He's been down there too long. I don't see how the skipper stands it. That water's cold.
He's signaling. Hold him up.
All right, come on. Here, come on. Bend to it now. Come on. Up he comes. Take the helmet.
I got it. How about it, Captain? How is it down there? Screws on. It's good. We're ready to go.
I didn't think it was possible, sir.
What time is it?
0400, sir.
That late? Let's get underway. Start all engines. Stand by for flank speed ahead. We're late. The 314 is going to get in on this invasion.
the United Nations were sweeping up out of Africa, sweeping up to hit Europe, and LST-314 was in the van of the march. To Sicily.
LST-314 made 15 trips from North Africa to Sicily. 15 trips carrying the precious supplies which enabled our troops to move on to Italy.
Red Beach at Salerno, blood-drenched Red Beach. LST-314, now a veteran of invasion, was guide for the first assault wave. Overhead, enemy dive bombers screamed down constantly. Shore guns shot out in awkward-looking flaps as it led the way into invasion.
Captain, that shore's alive with 88th quarters.
I know. Big soldier will run up against their machine gun.
That looks like you got a flare getting in.
And we're not hit yet. Won't worry about that until we are. My orders, hit the beach up full speed.
How'll we get off?
Let's get there first. Notify Mr. McGinley to give me everything he's got on all engines. Now, 400 yards. Are the tanks and guns ready to move out as soon as we hit?
Ready, sir.
Right. Now, here we go. All engines full ahead. Flank ahead. Flank speed. Okay, Mac. Give it to me.
At this speed, we'll run our whole lake ashore.
Stand by. We'll hit the beach. Now beach signal. There's shore. Down ramp. All right, get those tanks and guns ashore. Don't waste any time to it.
We gotta get out of here faster. Those hill guns are getting our range.
Is everything off?
Yes, sir. There's the last gun rolling off now.
Now we'll see what we can do about retracting.
It's gonna be a job, sir. We're at least 30 feet up on the Duncan Tower.
All engines, full stern.
Full stern.
This sand is holding us like glue.
We're being hit. We got 3 holes in the house so far.
Nothing we can do to stop that. Our engines won't pull us off.
Hey, look, Captain. In the woods along the beach. That's the tank. That's why he's fully flanking our troops.
Have those round guns put on those tanks. Give those soldiers all the help we can.
That's it.
Round guns! Wait at those tanks in the woods! Signal for help and retract them. We need a tug or two to pull us out of here.
It'll take time for them to get to us.
And we'll fight with everything we have till we get. Dive bombers overhead, sir. Open up on them with every gun.
2 more holes now, sir. If this keeps up, there won't be enough men for 314 to pull off the beach. Those dive bombers are coming close, but they haven't hit us yet.
Keep after them. Drive them off. We got to have time. Time. Give them everything we have. Hey! Hey, get out. Almost. Keep flat.
The bloody battle for Red Beach went on, and for 9.5 hours, LST-314 fought savagely, its nose buried in the beach, target for enemy guns and dive bombers. Once, twice, 3 times, enemy planes were shot down by its gun crew. But finally, 2 sergeants and a couple of Scots infantry landing craft turned to the job of helping the LST-314 tear itself from the clinging sands of the beach.
Time to touch shore. Time to out the ice. Shore. Very good. Big lumps give us all power. Aye, sir. All engines full of stern. Keep in on stern anchor wind. All engines full of stern, sir. We're moving. We're breaking loose. Here we go. We're off. We're on our own again. Yes, loose the line. Signal our back to those other craft. Have a damage control party. See what they can do about the damage to our hull. There's a lot of fighting to be done yet, and the 314 must be ready for it.
Now the back of enemy resistance at Salerno was broken, and the Allies moved on up to the coasts of Italy with LST-314, a battle-scarred invasion veteran, making trip after trip, carrying troops and supplies to an army on the march toward victory. Then to England and D-Day.
LST-314 was used to D-Days now. Invasion was its business. And dawn of June 6 found LST-314 leading the invasion into the Normandy shore.
D-Day +3, and LST-314 was again nearing Normandy with another load of supplies.
Captain, you've got to get some rest. Been on the bridge for 3 days and nights. Yeah, I am pretty well bushed. Things are quiet now. Why don't you hit the factory? I think I will, Knowles. In an hour or so, I'll be ready. Get on the port side. The torpedoes. 2 of them. Yeah. Slow down, too. There's a great hole in the car. Captain, we're beginning to lift. All power gone, sir. We'll never be able to put out that fire. No, pivot. Yes, sir. This is the end of the 314. He has a chance. Prepare to abandon ship. Abandon ship. Abandon ship. All hands forward. All hands forward. Your life raft. We'll have to get off fast, men. No. Go aft. Get anyone left there. Yes, sir. Men! Men! Knock it off. Hold it. Put on your life jacket. Begin to go down the cargo net. As soon as you're in the water, pull away from the ship so you won't be pulled under when you sink. Move fast. This way we haven't much time. When you get away from the ship, stay together. I'll escort to find you quicker that way. All right, get moving. We got the wounded and the doctors into that one boat that was left, sir. Good. All right, men. Listen.
Commander Tutt stood on that tilting deck and shook hands with every man as he started down the cargo net, saying goodbye, until the last man disappeared over the side.
Well, Buck, that's all of them. Doctor, just be getting over the side, sir. We'll have them to roll any minute. Yeah. First, throw those empty oil drums over the side. Men can lash themselves to them. Here, give me a hand. Aye, sir. Lash yourselves to those drums, men. Now keep your full. Yes, sir. That's all, sir. Another torpedo that hit her, Buck. She's going down now. Back, sir. I got here, sir. Well, I imagine that's the way she wants it. She want to go down and fight. You can't feel bad about it. The ship goes down that way, sir. There she goes. She's turning over. She's sinking. She's gone. The 314 never go to another invasion. Is that all right? It's been 2 hours in this freezing water. It's a long time. We're okay, Captain. We're all right. It's cold. We'll get along. This boat will be picked up, Captain. Sure we will. Hang on. Somebody else see you. As soon as it gets lighter. It's dark and cold. I can't feel my legs anymore. Kick. Kick, move around. Don't let loose of the oil. Steady. Steady, please. Hang. That didn't help. All right. Start something.
Might I seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
How long have we been underwater, Captain?
Just a few hours.
Seems like years, Captain. We've got to do something about Wilson here. You can't hold on any longer. Here, let me help. Easy, Wilson. Easy does it. Just hang on. Unconscious. We've got to find some way to get him out of the water. None of us can stand this much longer. Captain! Captain! I hear something. I hear a boat. They'll never find us unless we make them know we're here. Everyone, yell! Now, all together. 1, 2, 3. Now listen.
Get going up so we can find them!
It's coming here. They hurt. Yeah, here. There they are. The boats are British destroyer.
Take it easy, Mike. We'll have you warm and dry in there time at all.
Had a tough time, but it's all over now. Here, make fast that line. Come aboard, Mike. Here you are. Give us a hand. It'll help you. Oh, there you are. Thanks, bud. How many more, Captain? Just 2 more. Oh, boy. Take it easy, boy. Come on there. And now you. Is that all, Captain? Yeah. Excellent. Your turn now, sir. Sir, Captain. Take my hand. We're safe, Fox. We're safe. Yes. We're safe. We're safe. Ben, we're safe. Glory of the coming of the Lord. He is heaven out of in his word, the grace of wrath and sword. He has moved his faithful life of his terrible sword.
This is Commander Tutt again. That was the end of LST 314. That night, off the beach of Normandy, the ship I commanded was sunk. A good many of her crew were saved, and to those ships who went down with her, we of the 314 have pledged ourselves to make the enemy pay, and pay dearly for every one of our buddies who were lost. A British destroyer picked us up. Our courageous captain took us through a minefield to do it, and the crew of that destroyer went over the side into the icy waters to save the lives of a good many men. Now, I'm attached to the Atlantic Fleet Amphibious Training Command at Little Creek, Virginia, in command of a group of LSTs, ship like the 314. We'll be going out again one of these days, probably to the Pacific this time. Most of the officers and men of 314 are going aboard new improved LSTs, where there'll be a sealing nucleus for a new crew. And I know that the fighting spirit of 314 lives on in every ship of her time, and every Navy ship, wherever it serves, and whatever she did in the Atlantic, will be multiplied many times in the Pacific. For the Navy is going forward steadily to victory. Invasion is its business.
Our thanks to you, Commander Tutt, for bringing us your inspiring story. Friends, although each of us has his own special reasons for Thanksgiving, the entire nation joins in gratitude for such courageous men as we have heard about tonight. These officers and men and this ship, the LST 314, are typical of the men and ships who have paved the way to victory in Europe and who are now fighting so gloriously to bring victory near in the Pacific. The indomitable will of all the nation is bent on complete and overwhelming victory east and west. And the Navy is the instrument of that will as it fights in the first line.
Bless 'em all, the long and the short and the tall. Bless all the sergeants, the sourpuss ones. Bless all the corporals and their dopey sons, 'cause we're saying goodbye to them all. As back to the barracks they crawl. No ice cream and cookies for flat-footed rookies, so cheer up, my